Hi, welcome to today's segment of Our Ventura TV. My name is George Alger. Today's episode is part of our special Ventura County faith-based series. And joining us today is Bobbie Grantham, who is a Director of Special Affairs at the Church of Scientology of Ventura. Welcome, Bobbie, and can you provide a brief description of the core beliefs of Scientology?
Thank you, George, for having me on the show. Absolutely, I'd love to tell you about it. Scientology was developed by L. Ron Hubbard and is a religion that offers a precise path leading to an understanding of one's true spiritual nature. Scientology addresses the spirit, not the body or the mind, and believes that you are far more than a product of your environment or your genes, okay? Scientology does hold in common many of the beliefs of other religions and philosophies in that it considers one to be a spiritual being more than just flesh and blood. This is, of course, different than the scientific thought, which views man to be a material object. Scientology is not dogmatic in religion. One is not asked to accept anything on faith alone. On the contrary, one discovers for oneself that the principles of Scientology are true by applying its principles and observing or experiencing the results. Scientology is something one does, not what someone believes in. Scientology's roots lie in the deepest beliefs and aspirations of all great religions. Although it draws on wisdom of some 50,000 years, Scientology is a new religion, one that has isolated fundamental laws of life and developed a workable technology that can be applied to help people achieve a happier and more spiritual existence. Its development was made possible in part by advances in the physical sciences through the first half of the 20th century. Scientology bridges Eastern philosophy with Western thought. And in that way, Scientology applies scientific methodology to spiritual questions. Scientologists believe we are basically good, not evil. And it's one's experiences that lead one to commit evil deeds, not one's nature. For example, when one mistakenly seeks to solve problems by considering only one's own interests, this causes trouble for oneself and others. And because we consider that you are basically good, you are capable of spiritual betterment. And it is the goal of Scientology to bring a person to the point where he's capable of sorting out the factors in his own life and solving his own problems. Scientology believes that you spiritually advance to the degree that you preserve your spiritual integrity and values and remain honest and decent, and deteriorate to the degree that you abandon these qualities.
Very good. Well, can you speak to some of the benefits to the participants of Scientology?
Sure. As you know, life is not always easy, and life tends to force an individual into certain values. These stresses then fixate one's attention to a point where awareness of yourself and your environment become greatly diminished. With lowered spiritual awareness come problems, difficulties with others, illness, unhappiness. The goal of Scientology is to reverse this diminishing awareness. And as you become more and more alert, you become capable of greater understanding and better able to handle life and help others. Scientology contains solutions to the problems of living. Its end result is increased awareness and spiritual freedom for the individual, and rehabilitation of one's basic decency, power, and ability.
Very good. Can you speak a little bit about the benefits to the broader community?
Yes. The aims of Scientology religion, as stated by L. Ron Hubbard, are a civilization without insanity, without criminals, and without war, where the able can prosper and honest beings have rights, and where you are free to rise to greater heights. So therefore, the practice of Scientology involves the application of its principles to create better conditions in society. It is a maxim of Scientology that one is as valuable as he's able to help others. All right. So Scientology not only seeks to improve society through instilling a moral and ethical compass, but also by getting its parishioners to do something positive to help others in society as a practical expression of their religious belief. Scientologists do come from all walks of life and are concerned about social problems and support numerous social betterment programs. The humanitarian programs supported by the church and its parishioners do include the largest non-governmental anti-drug campaign on earth, a campaign that reaches tens of millions of youth each year. The largest human rights public information campaign that broadly promotes all 30 articles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights to educate public on everyone's fundamental rights. The support of an international training campus to assist educators with study technology. Also a Scientology volunteer ministers program that has initiated volunteer disaster relief and other assistance on a global scale. We have over 200,000 active members who are on call at any time, at any place in the world, for any situation. The sponsorship of an international foundation of a common sense guide to better living, restoring morality and brotherhood. The church also continues to be a relentless voice in the fields of social reform and justice. Scientologists have brought to light such issues as enforced drugging of children, the dangers of psychiatric brutalities such as electric shock therapy and lobotomy, the chemical and biological warfare experiments secretly undertaken against unwitting American citizens in the 1960s and 70s. The church has also championed the principle of open government and pioneered the use of the Freedom of Information Act and other access laws around the world to protect the public interest and eradicate government waste and human rights abuses. The goal of the Church of Scientology is to improve society through our programs and activities.
Wow. Well, thank you very much, Bobbie.
Mhm.
We're actually just about out of time here, so I'm going to have to wrap things up now.
Thank you for having me, George. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again.